Hey folks, this is the Guinness Gamer here, bringing you my summary of the Ashes of Creation September development update, and this was about events. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first massive piece of news that was announced was that Alpha 2 has been confirmed for 2024, which is absolutely phenomenal news because a lot of us are being very patient waiting on this. Now, the next announcement will tell us what quarter it'll be in 2024, and then the next announcement after that will tell us the actual exact date. Now, I'm assuming, just putting one and one together, I'm thinking that it's going to be quarter 2 or quarter 3. It's a bit soon for it to be quarter 1 now, for them to be prepared and ready for it, and also for them to tell us in the quarter and the dates in future announcements. I'm assuming it's not going to be quarter 1. Also assuming it's not going to be quarter 4, because if some last minute things were to happen where they had to put it back, they would be putting it into 2025, and they wouldn't be able to, they're not going to make the same mistake again that they've made before and promise a release date and then not meet it. So it's definitely not going to be quarter 4, I would think. Now, linked into that, of course, is that the last pre-order pack for Alpha 2 will be expiring on the 17th of January 2024. So if you haven't got that and you're interested in playtesting the game in Alpha 2, it's obviously something that's worthwhile. Now, of course, Alpha 2, as I say, it's going to be playtesting. It's going to be a testing experience. It's going to have fun elements to it, but ultimately the idea behind it is to be testing. So if that isn't for you, of course, you don't want to go in for that. But before then there's going to be a couple of NDA spot testing sessions as well. So that's more reason why I think to fit all that in, that we're definitely not looking for a quarter 1 Alpha 2 release. But again, as I say, more likely to be quarter 2 or quarter 3. There also may be more availability for Alpha 2 in the future, even after that pre-order pack has expired on the 17th of January, but there is no guarantee at all that that will be the case. Now, this September live stream focused primarily on the event system, so that's where we're going to get into the real in-depth information. Now, events get popped up in the world based on certain conditions being met by the players. The conditions that are being met in this video here that I'm showing is killing mobs in the area, so that's standard enough. But other such conditions that can trigger an event are harvesting resources, trade caravans happening, relationship of nodes with each other, the state of nodes themselves, story arcs, and that's obviously not a finite list. There'll be a lot more on top of that. Those are just the ones that the devs announced in this live stream. Now, as I say, this event shown in the background is bandits attacking a caravan, and this was triggered then when enough mobs were killed. So you see the dev team here actually killing the mobs and then the event starting. Now, once the event starts, then the party gets the option to merge into a raid group. And the more people that join this raid group, the higher the difficulty scales for the event, and then the more, even there's different scaling elements as well. Like, more people can unlock more objectives, they can unlock different stages that wouldn't otherwise be available, different mechanics otherwise wouldn't be available. They can unlock more enemies, or they can unlock harder enemies, but ultimately then there's always going to be better rewards, so that's a trade-off for that. So ultimately you want as many people joining as possible. Now, the difficulty setting will also scale back if players leave or go inactive, so generally there'll be no penalty for having extra people there. Now, the rewards for it are put into tiers based on player contribution. The contribution metric is still being decided and iterated upon, but ultimately the players will roll rewards based on their reward tier. Players will also get XP and gold automatically for participation straight into their inventory, but the material rewards, the rolled rewards, will have to be looted after the event, just from a chest or a lockbox. As I say then, this event here is defending a caravan and settlers from a highwayman ambush. You can heal the settlers, but of course this takes your mana that might be better used elsewhere. You can also view the caravan integrity and the settler health on the objective part on the screen there towards the right hand side, and you can feel the event. You can really feel the event. If it is failed, it contributes to a world state tracker. If enough events are failed, then a bigger event triggers, and failing this can trigger a story arc or atrophy events. Now, in this example, highwaymen are attacking the caravan from Highwaymen Hills, I imagine continued success for the Highwaymen may result in them actually being bolder, and the atrophy event or story arc could be them attacking the nearest node as they get stronger and as they get bolder. Conversely, defending them in this event triggers a story arc to venture into the Highwayman hills to clear them out. They will keep attacking NPCs until they are dealt with via the story arc. Events will have cooldowns, not just time related cooldowns, but dependent on actions happening again. And the idea in general is for the events to be constantly popping up around you in the zones. Now, the raid group doesn't automatically disband at the end of the event to encourage players to play together. This one on the screen was a PvE event, so there's only one raid group spawned at the start. However, there will be PvP events with multiple raid groups to join. Now, story arcs generally take days, but events will take like 20 minutes or something like that. And some events will have mini bosses like this one, and some will have no combat at all, like helping small time people. One such event is attending an NPC funeral, for example. There will also be huge events fighting big bosses, and huge scope then for what an event can be. I'd say there's going to be a huge variation between different events, and because of the variation types of events, then the rewards will vary accordingly. And the caravan in this event, which is very interesting, was due to player driven activity, so it was spawned maybe by nodes advancing their relationship with each other or node development. Now, just general nuggets of information that were dropped in this live stream as well. Player maps are going to have access to a lot of information about nodes and areas, as there's no fast travel in the game. For example, you'll be able to see the tax rates of a node just from your map without having to visit the node. However, you will also acquire more access to additional information when you actually arrive at the node, such as what's being listed in the auction house currently. There will be access to mayor history and nodes, as well as important milestones like first boss downs or first guild halls, etc. on the server log, and all players will be able to read that. There are also other node based positions other than the mayor, such as positions in the temple or other social organizations. These come with titles and benefits, some of which are static, earned and you keep them, and some of which are seasonal, so you'll have to earn them again and again each season. Bards will likely have a slot specific for their instruments, although this isn't finalised yet, and rested XP does interact with XP debt even at max level, so you can work it off quicker, work out off the XP debt quicker while you're rested. Now, this live stream was shorter than normal, so that's all the information that I gleaned from it. Again, trying to keep it as succinct and short as possible for people that have left less time to watch the full live streams. If you've liked this and you want to see more of my content, give me a subscribe and a like down below, and if you have any comments to make on what you think I should add or what games I should cover, feel free to leave them below. But for now, goodbye and good luck.